Do you guys prefer short, medium, long runs? Which ones work best for you for planning being a tow-behind driver?
I prefer the one that pays the most money.
Welcome to Six Figure Trucker, the podcast where we share advice on how to be successful in trucking and have fun while doing so. We'll share stories, news, and advice on how to earn six figures in trucking, and we'll speak to guys and gals that are already doing so. Let's get to the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. And we come to you each and every week on Thursdays, and we love you guys listening in and hearing other drivers and other people in the industry, in the field, talk about Driveaway trucking and everything that it involves. And as you guys know, this is a venue, a space where we elevate and celebrate the drivers for so much that they do, make our company what it is, in fact, make the industry what it is. And we're very fortunate to have the drivers that we do at Norton Transport, and we certainly thank each and every one. And we have some special guests, plural, today that are joining us on the show. And it is a father and son team. Son, Larry Altice, and his father, Tony Altice. Hello to both of you.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you guys doing? Tell us first off, kind of set the scene, each of you, where you are and what the weather is like at this moment.
Let you go ahead, Dad.
It's cloudy where I'm at in Virginia right now. I'm at home for the weekend.
I'm over in Roanoke, and it's about the same. We're only about 20 minutes from each other, so weather's fairly similar to each other.
Gotcha. Have you guys always lived close to each other, or were there times when you may have, gone off to school or whatever it may be that separated you in distance, or have you always lived close to each other?
No, about the furthest it's ever been, it's about 20 to 30 minutes, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there for the longest time before I even got my CDL, I was still living at home for a little while, and then once I got it, I was able to start making enough money to live on my own.
I got you. Now, Tony, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. We had talked about this before we got on the show there. How did you get into truck driving? What series of events led to you taking the wheel?
Well, I used to do construction work when I was younger. Me and my wife got married, and I seen where construction wasn't going to be a very lucrative job, so I turned to truck driving. And when I first started off, I started driving for Coors Light Company in Salem, Virginia, and just kind of moved on. It progressed from there. Went from being a local beer delivery guy to over-the-road guy to grocery guy, and then finally just decided I was tired of dealing with freight and wanted to check out this Driveaway business, and stepped into it and figured out how to do the tow car and see where I can make more money that way, and that's kind of where it led to.
Gotcha. Now, it was you were telling us earlier that it was 1991 when you started. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, what about you, Larry? Was it one of those cases where I'm going to follow in my father's footsteps kind of thing?
Well, I mean, I was back and forth a little bit myself. When I first got out of high school, I was thinking about just going in for general studies in college. Kind of found out that I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time. And so when I turned 21, Dad kind of told me, hey, at least get your CDL. I mean, it'll give you an opportunity to be able to have something to fall back on if something doesn't work out for you. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, it'd be nice to at least have something for, this case, anything might happen. And me and him actually went out to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and started, doing some training with another driving company, and that kind of got us over the road for a little while until we got back to where we could do local stuff. We did local stuff there for a little while, and I actually came back off from driving, and I went back into a retail position and everything, and then COVID-19 hits, and the job pretty much got to the point to where I just couldn't stand it anymore. It was just so, I guess, boring. It would be the right word to say, but that was when Dad told me, he said, hey, I've been doing this Driveaway stuff for about 3 years now, and why don't you give it a shot? We can get you set up and maybe get something lined up to where you can come out for a week with me and see if you like it. And sure enough, it was actually with Norton here, and it was great. I liked it for about a week or that first week, and then after that, it's pretty much all right. I'm full throttle with this.
Oh, I like that, full throttle. That's a nice way to put it. Now, I was looking back, and I think, Tony, you started in September of 19, and about a little over a year later, Larry, you jumped on board?
Yeah, I think it was sometime in October, I think of 2020. I was right after, stuff started shutting down during the pandemic and everything.
Right. What's it been like for you guys? Tony, you take the lead on that. What's it been like? Let's see. Let me do some quick math here. Tony, you've been with us for over 4 years. What's it been like?
Well, it's kind of ups and downs. I've seen the company grow. I think when I come on, it seemed like they had maybe like 100 drivers. I could be wrong, but I know it seemed like the numbers were low, and as far as how many drivers they had, and now they got 1,400, 1,500, at least that's what I've been told. It's kind of slowed the board down a little bit and making it a little bit tougher to make the money we're making. But I like this Driveaway stuff because, like I say, you don't deal with freight, and I decide when I want to go home and when I want to be at work, and don't have to stand in line for somebody for vacation. You know what I mean?
That's nice. That's very nice. What about you, Larry? What's your perspective on it being in the seat for 3 years and 4 months?
I mean, I've really enjoyed it, actually. I mean, it's kind of like how Dad's saying. I've had the opportunity to where I'm able to experience a little bit more. It's like, as you mentioned, not having to put in the time off request with somebody and say, hey, I'd like to take this certain week off because I want to go out and see a little music festival or something. Instead, now I'm just not going to work that week, and I've really enjoyed that. And then also, it's, seeing a lot more too. I mean, we for a while there were going down to Georgia quite a little bit, and if we had the opportunity, we'd stop off and see like a baseball game while we were down there in Atlanta, and that's just really been great. I mean, just the fact that work can take us to do something that we want to do, and it's like, an added benefit. Hey, I'm getting paid to go slide through Atlanta or slide through St. Louis and see a ball game while I'm out there.
Now, did you see a ball game in each city?
Yeah, we've seen them in those two so far, and I think that's been about it right now. You got to make the time for it too. Sometimes it's like, oh, we're pushing to get to the drops. We just need to hurry up and get on in there.
Right. Now, each of you, I mean, you guys kind of told us there at the beginning that you're tow-behind drivers, and I guess that gives you a lot of freedom, saves you a lot of money.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, if you go and look at how much it costs to get a rental car, to get from place to place, or even an Uber, and there's for some instances where you can't even get an Uber. If you go into a rural area where there's not a lot around, you can be stuck there until somehow you figure out a way to get out of that area. And with the tow car, you don't get into that position.
What kind of cars do you guys have for your tow behinds?
We've got a 2014 Jeep Wrangler and a 2004 Southern Jeep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, describe, is the connecting apparatus the same for yours, Larry, and for yours, Tony?
We use a company out of Missouri that he sells us equipment and everything. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same setup for each one of us. And we try to make it as simple as we can with the stuff too. I mean, certain hookups, they can be a little bit difficult. You might have to flip something around. You might have to come out a little bit further than what you're used to doing on pieces of equipment. But for the most part, we're pretty much the same on our equipment.
And you guys like to ride together, and I guess if you're riding together, you only need one car?
Yeah, pretty much. We actually have a friend that rides with us too that actually come on about 3 months ago. He's already seen the benefits of having a tow car around compared to a rental car. He actually wanted to go out if he's not able to go out with us because he knows he can't really afford to use a rental car because he can't make any money. So, yeah, we pretty much ride together for the most part. The two cars, if one needs to have something done in the shop, we'll have the backup to go out and use it as well.
That's smart. That's ideal. Now, I talked with your team lead, Michael, and from looking at the load board, you guys like to run a lot. And do you guys prefer short, medium, long runs? Which ones work best for you for planning being a tow behind driver?
It really just depends on how it works out. Go ahead, Dad.
I prefer the one that pays the most money.
Oh, what about you, Larry? You were saying that whichever works best.
Yeah, it kind of just like depends on how it works. I mean, for a while, Volvo was keeping us fairly busy, running back and forth between Dublin, Virginia to Knoxville, Tennessee, and that Dublin area is only 45 minutes from where we live at. So, we could turn to Knoxville in like about 3.5, 4 hours, and then come right back home. And that's the way we're running quite a little bit, but. Sometimes we will go out for a week or, a couple of days or something like that, just because, Knoxville might not have anything or do what we got to do, just to, again, like how he said, whatever pays the most money and can make us enough to be able to get by for the next week and stuff.
I guess that, it's obviously possible on the shorties, you guys can do more than one truck in a day.
Yeah. We sometimes we try to turn 2 in a day. If we can keep it around 200 to 300 miles, about 200 miles or less, usually works out pretty good. We can usually turn 2 Dublins to Knoxville. It makes for a long day, but everything's pretty much on the legit, so we can, knock out some money there. There's a case where we had some over in Salem, Virginia. It's the Mack plant. It's 30 minutes from the house, going down to Thomasville, North Carolina, which is like a 140-mile trip. And we usually can turn 2 of those in a day, and you're knocking down $500-600 in one day.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Right.
Now, I know for one account that you were able to take, you guys have been taking quite a few trucks out of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee to Knoxville. And did you guys also take some down to Chattanooga, down to Ringgold?
Don't think I think we did take a couple down from Chattanooga to Ringgold.
Yeah, then the Mount Pleasant to Knoxville, those were going on there for a little while. I think we moved about 6 or 7 of those, I think.
There will be more. I've heard through the grapevine there will be more, and I just want to say, as a company and as individual members of that company, we certainly appreciate the fact that you guys have the setup and the willpower to do that, even if you can turn 2 in a day, of course, within the framework of the law. But we certainly appreciate what you guys do and the efficiency that you bring to us. And I guess from your standpoint, it's a two-way street. It's efficient for you too.
Yeah, efficiency is always the key to a lot of that. If you don't have efficiency, really, you can't turn 2 of them in a day. When you're doing 2 like that, you don't have room for any kind of mistakes or any holdups. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. And now, we all know in the driveway industry and moving trucks in general, breakdowns are going to happen. But talk about how having that car behind you just really gives you a parachute, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, for example, if we happen to have something that does happen, we were, I think, somewhere down south, and I remember I had a tire start going flat on me, and it was right when we pulled out from the truck stop to get some fuel, and luckily enough, right across the street, there was a dealership, and that dealership was able to help us out with getting the tire pumped back up, and I don't think it had any type of hole in it. I think it was just a little low. That's all it was. Mm-hmm. And, if we were to have to be broke down there because they needed to replace the tire or something else along the lines was going on, if we needed to, hey, Michael could have been like, all right, well, we'll just leave that truck there and y'all can move on to your next one. Or if we wanted to, we could just, hop in the Jeep and go to a hotel or, go do something for a few hours to be able to kill some time while they get the stuff done on repairing what might have been wrong with the vehicle.
What about you, Tony? Have you had similar experience either with or without Larry?
Yeah, earlier on, before he had come on, I had another partner, and we were going across some mountains in North Carolina, the Cherokee Mountains there. My partner's truck, the antifreeze had dropped in it, and we had to pull off the side of the interstate. So once we did that, I said, look, I'll unhook the car and go get us some antifreeze so we don't have to wait on breakdown to come get us.
Mm-hmm.
And, that in itself, when you're broke down on the side of the road, you can be 3-4 hours, if not more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And with me being able to go get the antifreeze and come back, put the antifreeze in, we lost 30 minutes, And again, like I say, when you're trying to run and get from point A to point B at a certain time, you don't have that luxury of just sitting around waiting on breakdown to come get you or whatever. But again, like you said, if we had to stay somewhere, we could get in the Jeep and hop in there and go on to the hotel or whatever we need to for the time being. And at least then we've got a way to get around, because you can't move around in those big trucks to like a restaurant or something like that to eat or whatever you want to do. Or go to a ball game, for instance.
Right.
If that thing's not there, you're not able to do it.
Well, take us back to the ball game. Let's start in St. Louis. How long ago was it, and what do you remember about that moment to be father and son together watching a ball game?
Yeah, it was. I think it was back in 2021, wasn't it? Because it's actually the year that the Braves won the World Series, and we went out. I think we were trying to make it to Kansas City with a couple trucks, and just driving through St. Louis at that time. I think our hours were just about up, and we were going to stay there in St. Louis, and it just so happened that we checked the scheduling, and the Braves were playing the Cardinals at the time. And I mean, it was great. I mean, it's not like, we're trying to plan things out or anything, but hey, if we're riding through that city and they happen to be there, why not, try to knock out another ballpark and, maybe move on to the next one from there. I mean, it was fun, getting to be able to do that together and, without it being something that we really were thinking was going to happen. We just, like I said, the spontaneity that we can get in the line of work because you're in that particular city at that time really is nice when it comes to this work.
Who's the bigger baseball fan?
Well, I've kind of been pulling for the Braves since 1980. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, I mean, since I was born, I was raised on the Braves. So
that's well, Tony, you've been through the thick and the thin. If you were a Braves fan back in 1980,
yeah, it's been some years.
Right. Now, what other? I mean, we know you guys love baseball. What other kind of things do you guys like to do when you're not out there making good money on the road?
I like to fish and mess around on the lake and stuff like that. We've got a lake close by here, and do a little bit of hunting. A lot in the wintertime. Winter gets here, I take about a week or so off, go deer hunting, put some meat up for the winter, stuff like that. That, and I like to do some gardening too. So I make my time for my gardening and my hunting and my fishing. That's about it.
Well, Mr. Altice, you said you take a week off in the winter to go hunting. Have you already done it this winter, or is it still to come?
Yeah. No, we usually around November, about the first week of November, we usually go hunting around here. I usually take a week or so off.
Was it a good trip?
Oh, yeah. I don't have to go anywhere. I've got 17 acres that I hunt on my land, and I just stay right here and usually just hunt when I can find.
Okay. What about you, Larry? What kind of things you like to do?
Well, like I said, ever since I started doing Driveaway, it's really freed up a lot more of my time to where I can do certain things like I like to go to music festivals a lot. I mean, one of the first couple of years I've been doing Driveaway, my cousin and I, we've gone to 2 or 3 different ones, between country to folk to just like an all-around, all types of music festival. And it's really made it to where, like I said, if I wanted to take 4 or 5 days off to go do that, it frees my time up to go do it. And two, heck, when I'm en route to somewhere, I might be able to say, hey, there's a concert going on there that I wouldn't mind seeing. I actually was just up in Chicago on Christmas Eve, well, the 23rd. And took a truck up in that area and was able to stop off there for the night and catch a show that I've been wanting to see, while I was in Chicago at the time and everything. So it worked out real good for me. But yeah, spending time with family and friends a lot too. I mean, like I said, whenever we can get some time off, just be able to see them and hang out and just have a fun time with them. That's kind of like what I like to do.
And how rewarding is it to be able to have that kind of flexibility and work it into your work schedule of driving trucks?
I mean, it's what one thing that's really keeping me in doing this line of work. I mean, me and Dad have said the same thing. You know, I won't go back to working for somebody because next thing you know, I have to be requesting time off. I have to be hoping that, you know, John up above me that's been there for 2 more years than me is going to get that time off that I want. And that's what I really like about this line of work. I mean, I don't have to worry about that. I can just take off when I want to take off. And, you know, if it just so happens that, hey, I'm in that particular area, there's something that pops up, I can also grab it. Like I said, make money while I'm doing stuff that I enjoy to do.
And Tony, what about you? What's life been like as an independent contractor since you started doing that back in 2019?
Well, kind of like what he said, you know, I'm able to have the flexibility to take when I want to take off and go do things. And again, you know, over the years dealing with freight and everything else, I mean, I went from delivering beer to delivering groceries, delivering milk over the years, you know. I look at it now and I think to myself, you know, I kind of fell into the trap of I've got to work for somebody to make money to pay my bills. Well, you know, when you get into that, you fall into the fact that your boss is going to tell you, hey, you can't take this week off. I need you here. I need you to make me that money. And I'll give you a little piece of the pie, but not much of it, so that you'll have to keep coming to work. And with this, you know, I've got that flexibility to say, no, I don't want to come in today. And again, like my son said, I'm not going to work for anybody else again. If I ever leave this, I'll probably retire. I'm not looking to work for somebody to always, you know, constantly build their companies up while I'm sitting here struggling to make my bills get paid.
Gotcha.
So it kind of, you know, that flexibility is a lot to do with it.
Each of you, how much longer do you see yourselves doing this?
For me, I'm hoping about 5 years.
Is that going to be retirement age for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 55 now, but retirement age is what you make it. Is again, like I say, about that trap you fall into. Save your money, put it back. You retire when you want to. If you make enough money out here doing this stuff, you put it up, you save it up, and you know, don't fall into the traps. You know, there's all kinds of traps out there to keep you doing this work that you're doing. If you do it right and do the right things, you can get out of it sooner than you expect. What
about you, Larry?
I mean, I'm only 29, so I'll probably keep doing this for a little while. I mean, I've seen people on, you know, groups on Facebook that have said they've been doing this for 30 years and they still enjoy it like it was their first year. So, you know, if it's that nice, I'm going to try to keep doing it as long as I can. Like I said, just got to make sure I'm able to keep myself busy enough to do it.
Right. Well, let me ask you this question. Has it brought the two of you closer together as father and son, being out on the road, running together, that kind of thing? And I'm assuming that it has, and how has it?
Go ahead.
Well, all right. Well, I'll put it like this. We've always been pretty close. At one point in time, I did have a construction company, so I was able to work for myself. And basically, it gave me time to spend with him, you know, with scouts and then with baseball. You know, like I say, with baseball fans, and he played baseball, so I coached his team, and I was a scoutmaster and you know, stuff like that when he's growing up, and we still kind of stay close together and, you know, help each other out as much as possible. So it's, I guess in a way, we're pretty much still as close as we were then. I don't see what would have been much of a difference now than when he was growing up, I think.
Gotcha.
With the exception that he has right to whatever he wants to now. So, you know.
Now, you guys back on the road next week?
Yeah.
Yep, we're up to Pennsylvania.
Do you have more than one truck apiece, or what's the load plan there?
We'll take one to from Salem, Virginia, up to Shoemakerville, PA, and yeah, then from Shoemaker we're going to ride over I'm going to ride over to McConkey, which is like 25 minutes. Again, there's the rental car, helps out on that.
Mm-hmm.
And pick up another one at McConkey to take to Lynchburg, Maryland. He's going from Salem to Morgantown, PA, and then from Morgantown, PA, he's got another one to pick up right there to come down to where the Frederick, Maryland here.
No, Capitol Heights.
Capitol Heights, Maryland. And what we'll do once we drop, we'll get in the Jeep and I'll come meet him or he'll come meet me, whoever. Probably me coming to get him in the Jeep.
Gotcha. Not asking how much you guys make, but what kind of lifestyle has it afforded you 3-4 years into Driveaway?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, it's done great things for me. I was able to actually get out and start living on my own. When I first started this, I did have a roommate, but I mean, he eventually did move out, and it's made it to where, even then, even though, me and him were splitting our monthly rent and everything, it didn't affect me because I was like, well, at the moment it was just, I only had half the bill. Now I have the whole bill, and it's not like it was hurting me when I had to take on that full bill every month, the full rent every month. So, I mean, it's just, it's made life a lot easier. Just because, I'm able to definitely afford to be able to live on my own now.
What about for you, Tony?
Well, it's kind of affordable for my wife to be able to retire and let her live a little more comfortable without having to go into work every day. So it's kind of made it where it's easier on her for the most part.
And obviously, you guys are on the same dispatch team. And we almost always ask this question here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. What's the relationship like with the team, and how important is it to have that, great line of communication?
I mean, I'd say that, Michael's helped us out quite a little bit. I mean, especially lately with, certain things coming up to where, something might be coming down the pipeline that, like Dublin and Knoxville's showing up. And, because we formed such a good relationship with them, he knows that, hey, as long as they're in the area, they'll want to do one of those. So he'll try to get us, assigned to it and everything. That way, if it's Tuesday and he tells us about it on Wednesday, we're able to run it.
Mm-hmm. And what about for you, Tony?
Well, yeah, like I said, make it, with Michael, he understands that we like to try to, while we're out here, create a whole week of work. I don't like to get 4 hours away from the house or 5 hours away from the house and have to deadhead home because there's nothing else to do, or deadhead 6 hours to another spot. So he kind of sees that, look, I need to book these guys 4 or 5 trips. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We've had different times where runs get dropped because quality control at the area that we're picking up. The company that we're picking up from has quality control issues. But for the most part, I mean, him understanding that, hey, we want to run all week, but we'd like to have trips set up.
Gotcha.
It makes it a little bit easier.
What would your advice be to someone who is thinking about going into Driveaway, but has questions and is still kind of, weighing the pros and the cons of it? What would your advice be, Tony, since you've been doing it longer? What would your advice be to somebody who's considering?
Well, do your research on it. Understand that when you come into this, there's a lot of ups and downs, ebbs and flows, whatever you want to call it. And understand that when you come into this, you're a contractor and you're responsible for your well-being and everything that goes on out here. And understand that, once you get out here, whatever money you're making, it's going to have to go back to what you're doing. Sometimes you got to spend money to make money. I'm trying to explain to a friend of ours who rides with us every now and then, look, get you a tow car. And he's got a buddy that coming into it too, and he's been fighting this rental car stuff. He can't make any money in. If I give you anything at all, get a tow car, because if you're going to run singles, get a tow car, because that's going to be how you save your money.
What about you, Larry? I mean, what's your perspective on the on the same question there, as far as what your counsel would be to a prospective or prospective person looking at coming into Driveaway?
Well, I mean, I will say, I mean, with Dad doing this for a couple of years, it did make it a lot easier. I mean, I would say maybe see if you've got anybody that has been doing this stuff. I mean, when I first got in, it really wasn't that big. And like Dad said, that the company, especially with Norton, has grown quite a lot since the past couple of years. And, now it's more diverse where you might see somebody that's doing it. So ask around, see what they have to say. I mean, what I would definitely say is, training is definitely important to have that. Like, without Dad, when I got into it, I probably wouldn't have known, hey, this is how the NT Go app works. And, this is how we do our pickups. This is how we do our drops, and how to use motive and stuff like that. Because I was so used to running everything the way a freight company was, and it definitely different. And like I said, I would just try to take it slow and really just maybe even like write a few things down here and there, because you're going to forget something. And if there's nobody there with you all the time, like how me and him were when I first started doing this, then it's tough at first. And our buddy that he keeps talking about that runs with us here and there, he's been doing this for 2 to 3 months, and he still has questions. So, I mean, it's definitely something that you need to take your time learning and understanding everything very well.
Gotcha. Now, you had mentioned, Larry, about the apps. What's your favorite app that we offer out there as far as putting the technology in your hands as the driver?
I mean, that NT Go is pretty great. I mean, it's set up to pretty flexible to where, if you wanted to filter out, hey, I only want to do like a 200-mile run, 300-mile run, I could do that. Or, there's a few things here and there, of course. It's upgrades that I would say it could definitely improve on. I mean, that helps. And then also, you just use your basic features of your phone too. I mean, the fact that I can be 200, 300 miles away from my house and be able to snap pictures of all the documents that I need to, get my paperwork turned in, and then just email it right to our dispatcher. And it's different from what it was. Dad's always told me that, back in the day, you used to have to stop by a truck stop, fill out a trip pack, and do all this other stuff, fax it in, and next thing you know, it take you 2 or 3 days for you finally get your money paid out. And the fact that everything's advanced now to where you can get paid within the next hour is great.
Tony, how does that resonate with you to get paid within the next hour?
Well, like I said early on, I'm all about getting paid. So as soon as I get paid, the better I feel,
I got you. Well, that was all I had for you guys today, but I certainly want to leave it open to you. Anything about Driveaway that you guys want to share with us?
I mean, like I say again, just get out here and do this and enjoy yourself while you're out here, because like I say, you got that freedom to do this. So if you're willing to put the time in, and if you want to get away from freight and get away from standing in line for vacation, this is the best place to get started on.
And I would just say that it's a great line of work to definitely earn a little bit more, financial freedom and everything, but also, as Dad mentioned before, don't forget there's ups and downs. I mean, we've lost runs in the middle of the week before, and it's not like it's something that, okay, the company's just going to take care of me. I'm still going to be paid for my week. I'm still going to get my out. No, you don't get that. You need to remember that this can be a $2,000 or $3,000 week, or it can be a $500 week. It just depends on what might happen. So always be prepared for what could happen while you're out over the road here.
Gotcha. Larry and Tony Altice, thank you so much for joining us here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. We are very pleased to have you guys running for us, but thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
Six Figure Trucker is brought to you by Norton Transport. Norton Transport is a drive-away trucking company that that customers can rely on. It offers excellent independent contract driving opportunities to professional, courteous, and qualified drivers that can provide the kind of service we deliver. If you're interested in learning more about Norton or just want to subscribe to the show, check out 6-figuretrucker.com. That's 6-figuretrucker.com.